We have the pleasure of having in the studio on Music from Muscle Shoals, Then, Now, and Forever, the one, the only, Johnny Collier.
How are you doing, David?
Johnny Collier with, I have to say, hands down, the coolest name of any band that I think I've ever interviewed, no matter what. Johnny Collier and the Misbehaviators.
Yeah, that goes about the music business. That tells you everything you need to know.
Yes, sir. Your press says recording artist Johnny Collier brings something unique to his fans and followers in today's music scene, digging deep into his southern Nashville Muscle Shoals roots, which we'll definitely talk about, mixing country music's past and present to create a passionate, soulful music adventure. That's a good description, man. And I'll tell you this, you are like, and in the state of mind that country music is in right now, you are like an oasis in a desert full of dung. I mean, you're keeping it real, and we appreciate that. What do you attribute that to? I mean, why haven't you given in and gone the mighty pop country way?
Well, we tried a little bit of that back when it first started going to that, and I just said, hey, I'm going to do what I am, be who I am. That way when somebody calls me Johnny, I'll know who they're talking to.
It's interesting that so many of those songs from many yesteryears ago stand the test of time. It's interesting, and I don't know I don't know the answer. I don't know why were there so many songs back then that have stood the test of time, and so many songs of the last few years, probably maybe a dozen of them are going to stand the test of time. Do you think it's attributed to songwriting, or are they not producing these songs correctly, or what the world is going on?
I think songwriting is a lot of it. I think the songs are written so well that they just stand the test of time. And then you have maybe a little bit in the production of it, but I think it's mainly the songwriting.
What about this? What about the fact that a lot of those guys lived those songs?
They did, and people knew it. And when I have people request now, sing me a real song. What they mean is 90s country on back.
I do question the validity of some of the music where you are actually keeping a writing appointment and you sit in a cubicle and are told, okay, you need to come up with this type of song. It needs to be this tempo. It needs to have these hooks in it. And you're told, okay, you've got 2 hours. Now go create something.
Yeah, be a master in 2 hours.
Yeah.
I was writing for Luke Bryan before he came out.
Really?
And they told us, they give us 2 albums that Luke Bryan had done, and I wrote songs for Larry the Cable Guy.
Oh, wow.
And so they've still got those on hold, but they give me records for Luke Bryan, and I had never heard of Luke Bryan. So right. I carried them home and listened to them, and I called Universal in Nashville back, and then they said, well, he's going to be the next big thing. It might take, 4 or 5 years, but he's going to be.
Right.
Well, we wrote, but he was doing completely different material than what he came out with as a hit on.
Absolutely.
And there's 2 albums, and none of the songs were good songs, and we just couldn't connect with it. So I finally, after a few months, we wrote a few and just told Jim, said, give us something else, And then 5 years later, Luke Bryan came out.
I see you brought a guitar, and there's only one reason for that, and that means you're going to pick us a song here in just a little while.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about this song first. One of my favorites of yours. This is the song that caught my ear a while back. I said, I got to get this guy on my new radio show. And it's a song called I Got This.
Yeah, I wrote that. That's still one of my favorite songs. I wrote that here just some time back, a few years ago, and I do it every show. And it's just a great song. It feels good, and the audience loves it. And so we just keep doing it. That's basically, we haven't published it. It'll be on the new album when the new album comes out. I like one song being done with the new record.
All right. I Got This right here on Music from Muscle Shoals, Then, Now, and Forever.
I never was one to follow the rules. I always had something better to do. Ask anybody, they'll tell you the same. As soon as they hear my name, I know Mama sure had it rough. Good thing my daddy was there to be tough. I had her crying oh many nights. She always told me it'll be alright. He say, I got this under control. I got this, I won't let go. I got this, I got just what you need. Have a little faith in me. I got this. I'm not too proud of some things that I've done, but once you do them, they can't be undone. I guess I'm lucky to be alive. You don't know that when you're living high, it sure feels good me coming home. I'd never straighten out on my own. They wouldn't have me back, I was willing to bet. When I showed up, all Daddy said was, I got this under control. I got this, I won't let go. I got this, I got just what you need. Have a little faith in me. I got this. I got a call late last night. Said, it's your daddy, son, and something ain't right. You better get here as fast as you can. They're calling all the family in. What I felt, I couldn't say. Couldn't find the words, I just started to pray. I talked to Jesus like a long-lost friend. He opened up his arms and he took me in. Said, I got this under control. I got this, yeah, I won't let go. I got this, I got just what you need. Have a little faith in me. I got this. He said, I got this.
All right, Johnny Collier, I got this. Couple of things about that song. First of all, that is the song that's the first original song I heard you play. I believe the first time I heard it was at the rally at the river for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, and it was right after a bit of a health crisis you had. You are a walking miracle.
I am a very lucky guy. I mean, that's what the doctors told me right from the start. My doctor in Birmingham at UAB was number fourth doctor in the country on what I had, but I had a brain aneurysm, cerebral aneurysm, and a subarachnoid hemorrhage with bleeding and stroke.
My goodness.
And I spent 19 days in a neurosurgical ICU at UAB in Birmingham, Alabama.
It wasn't long after that you were playing live.
Well, they told me just be my own judge on it. You know, do what you feel, and I had a thing for Rally at the River for St. Jude's Children's Hospital, and that was my first show back out, and I just barely made it through it, but it turned out well, and I made it. I done 30 minutes, and it about wiped me out.
Can I bring Dallas in on this conversation?
Sure.
Dallas, this I found out on your social media page, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Wasn't, you got to get closer to that mic.
Sorry, yeah.
Wasn't that something? I mean, what's your thoughts on this? I mean, I don't think, if people didn't read it, I don't know how people have any idea of how serious this was. And then
Right.
A matter of days later, I'm walking in the park, and there Johnny Collier is up playing on stage.
Yeah, he actually he had finished his third brain surgery. Let's see, that surgery was on May 24th, and then the rally at the river was, I believe it was June 12th that year. Yeah, he did a half-hour set. He opened for Red Marlowe, and it was amazing. You know, there wasn't a person in there that wasn't crying like crazy, because he, not only did he do it, you know, it was very tough, it was very difficult, it wasn't perfect, but he got up there and did it. And he talked a little bit about, what had happened. And we had so many people, I mean, thousands and thousands of people from all over the country, all
Yeah.
over the world
Yeah,
that
man.
were following his ordeal. There was a lot of love
Yes.
that day. And I'll tell you, he would not have gotten through what he went through without all of those people. I mean, there was prayers from everywhere. There was people commenting on Facebook. They were sending him letters. They were sending him cards. It was amazing. And that got him through that really difficult, crazy ordeal. Every day he gets a little bit better and he's way ahead of the curve. He's been
just
working
totally
really
awesome.
hard to get back to where he was, before all this stuff happened. And, like you said, he is a walking miracle. He is absolutely amazing.
That's
Of course, I'm biased, but,
That's Dallas, your manager, man. You got a great manager there, Mr. Collier.
Thank you.
You want to?
Everybody needs a good manager, a good help, and they do a lot of work.
Another thing I want to mention about that song is I do believe you mentioned your dad in there.
Yeah, he was an entertainer. He was asked to go to Vegas and work with Tony Bennett.
My.
And he decided he was making more money in Paducah, Kentucky, where he was based out of then.
Yeah.
He moved from Nashville to Paducah. But he worked with Narvel Felts and just several other people during that time.
Well, Johnny Collier, has been awesome. And his band is Johnny Collier and the Misbehaviators. Give us some contact information on how they can book you, buy your music, just get in touch with you and say hello, etc. On all the internet. So we want to hear about your contact information.
Well, just get on the internet and go to johnnycollier.com. They have the tour schedule, the performances, all the info is right there. That's how everybody reaches us. Of course, we're on Facebook as well. Links to everything.
Yeah.
johnnycollier.com is where they can buy CDs, see where the shows are. Everything you want's there.
That's the way it should be. That's awesome stuff. Thank you so much, Mr. Johnny Collier. Pleasure being, and keep us updated, and we'll get you back again when you get closer to the release or just after the release of that new record.
All right. Thank you, David.
All right. Thank you, Johnny Collier. Right here, live in the studio on Music from Muscle Shoals, then, now, and forever.